Well, good morning and welcome to BBRC Britain and English. Well, today I'd like to talk to you a little bit about vaccines. Now, I know most of you might have been inoculated or at least had the chance, or some of you may not have the chance yet because it hasn't reached your shores. Mercifully, in Britain, most people have had the chance to have at least the 2 vaccinations and even the booster. And the booster, of course, was served to people over 70 first. And now it's coming down to people in the 40s and I believe 30s. So it is moving on quite quickly, mercifully, thanks to the government's early reaction to the ongoing onslaught of the pandemic and making the orders long before the first vaccine was officially launched, which was in December 2020. And the first lady in the world was served the vaccine here in Britain. I think it was in Coventry, actually, by one of the nurses there. I think it might have been a Filipino nurse. There we are. So our very diverse NHS, which serves everybody at the point of need. But sadly, some people have decided not to respect that. They've decided not to take up the NHS offer of the vaccine. And sadly, we're seeing a lot of cases in the hospitals which are people who've got COVID due to not having the injections. Now, I'd just like to use this opportunity, if I may, to suggest to those who are uncertain about the inoculations or in any way fooled by some, well, certainly conspiracy theories or misinformation, I'd like to say, do ignore that, because the virus is real. The pandemic's now been going on about 2 years. If you take, for example, when it first started in China. Now, it first entered England in about January 2020. It became quite rampant, and we had the lockdown in March. But we're now in December, 3rd of December 2021. And we've now seen an upsurge in cases because of a new variant which has come from Southern Africa. So I'd like to say and emphasize, and I can't emphasize enough, do take up the offer when you get offered it. Wherever you are in the world, take it up. Because I know some of my international visitors and international friends who've not come to England wouldn't have had the blessing over the offer yet, but and are waiting for it, and I do hope you get it soon, and I hope you're very careful. I mean, certainly I've been using sanitizer and masks. We're now using masks more again now because of the upsurge. But certainly I would say do take up the offer and be on your guard, because Christmas is coming, and of course so family get-togethers and all, we need to be jolly careful, like I think was mentioned by Boris last year, our Prime Minister. But there is still a number of people, and it's maybe people in various places, English-born people, people from the Caribbean, Africa, and Asia who haven't had or taken up the offer. They haven't had even one injection. So, and certainly there's quite a lot of people in the of the immigrant population who haven't had it, and that's quite a serious matter because it can spread quite easily. So we're not going to kill it. We're not going to kill the virus if we don't all have it, because certainly that's the only way it's going to go. And some people got completely wrong opinions of it, thinking it's a virus or it's not serious or it's a hoax. Total nonsense. It's very serious, and it's very, very much here, still here, and it's going all around the world still. So we need to sort it out. We're still getting we've had deaths every day. I think it's 50 or 100 deaths per day at least. And so I would say any Caribbeans, please take the vaccination. Any Africans or Caribbeans, you know it's come from, there's another variant from Africa, and we've got to try and defeat that now as well. And we're hoping to defeat it with our current vaccination strategy. Although, of course, if not, we'll probably have to have another one. And there is a chance we might have to have another one next year, and even every year, which is quite a shock. But of course, those who haven't had it, who say, oh, they'll have it, yeah, they'll have it before Christmas. Well, they're probably forgetting that you've got to wait for have the first one. You'll then wait 3 months, I think it is, and then a further 6 months. So, only going to be about 25-30% effective anyway. But of course, it does depend on your immune system as to how you're affected. Now, but don't forget, the positives outweigh the negatives. So if you get a few side effects, it'll be a lot better than having COVID, because you can't breathe. And I do know a few people both here and overseas who've got COVID and they've died of it. Sadly, they have died, and they wish they'd have had the injection. I know they said they couldn't breathe. They were talking through a screen. So please take up the offer. So I know, as I say, 22 people in this country who haven't had it, and the reasons are quite shocking and varied, but well, delusional, perhaps most would say, including the professionals and clergy who do advise it as well. Certainly Christians are having it, and those who haven't had it, well, playing Russian roulette with their lives. That's what's been said. Well, some people may be going back to perhaps post-war times, when perhaps vaccines weren't tested so much. We didn't have the technology, but now they're tested vigorously, and certainly the AstraZeneca was, in this country, tested vigorously. Although I did have the Pfizer because they weren't doing the AstraZeneca that day, but the Pfizer's one from Europe. But certainly they're all effective, and those two are the first. For the Pfizer and then the AstraZeneca, they were the first two out. And the modern day processes and research is actually exemplary, and certainly not worth questioning. Well, so these doubts are unfounded, and the vaccines are very effective, and people who mention freedom and rights, well, do think about the people that are suffering around you, or could suffer if you spread the virus to them, especially the old people. And of course, we can still get it with the injection, but it's a lot better. The effects won't be half so bad, so it might be like a cold. So just bear in mind, you can still get it, you can still spread it. Now, we have been asked to do, and I've had one of these because I was around somebody who had the had the virus the other day. I had to do a rapid lateral flow test, which is this one's actually called a rapid antigen test. That's from the NHS, and what you do is you take that back of the throat and up the nose. There's 5 in there, and just to say the seriousness of it, we're back to using masks both in shops and on buses. May come to hospitality, pubs and restaurants, etc. But that's another mask there, so use those. And it's still on the page, that's the front page on the paper, the Metro, the free paper. That's the front, and certainly about there we are. Flu plus COVID-19 vaccines as well. There, so advising everybody have it. There we are. The lateral flow test. If we have that, perhaps we can go out and get to parties if we're protected and protect others. And on the back of the paper here, also another advert. So we've gone down from the number of advertising we had last year and earlier this year, but now we're going back to a few more adverts now. As you see behind me as well, I've got a number of the adverts still up there. We're not out of it yet. There we are. Boost your immunity this winter. There we are. So a lady seeing a nurse with her child there. So we need to do all we can to stop this happening. And there we are. Another one there as well. Little advert here. So this is in the last few days. There we are. If you have any COVID-19 symptoms, however mild, take a PCR test. So that's the other way of doing it as well. Stop COVID-19 hanging around. That's another one from the NHS there. So we all need to do our bit and be on our guard. So don't listen to conspiracy theories. And anybody tells you they're not having it, do try and advise them the right way. And also, don't be fooled by these things, because it's actually playing Russian roulette with our lives. And like I say, we're not completely protected, because no vaccine is completely protected. And so we need to do whatever we can to stop this from spreading. Thank you very much today for listening. Bye-bye.